Alright, getting ready for second half action here. Both teams are, Nantucket's out in the field. Monomoy's still with their team. Nantucket's only holding a 1-0 lead here. So it's a little bit more competition than I think we expected at the start of the game.
Monomoy's looking organised, but Nantucket's had, must be pushing up to 10 chances now.
Three posts, right? Two of them within about 5 seconds, which is unbelievable when you think about it.
Goalkeeper's made some good saves.
And one was an outright steal, right? So the score could easily be 3 or 4 to nothing for the Whalers, but it's only 1-0. So Monomoy. The one thing that I notice, the home field advantage here in your games and the boys' games is that they get the wind advantage the second half.
I was just going to ask you because I don't see as many of the boys' games, but I know we definitely prefer going that way in the second half.
I think it's an advantage.
You've got home bench here. You've got your whole hopefully crowd kind of pushing them that way. We'll see.
And some days there's more wind than others.
Nice overlap and run from Derek Partida. Positive start from Nantucket, nice and assertive. Maybe looking for a little more movement from the throw-in. Goldson on the outside, a handball. So we brought in Derek Partida now on the left outside. Looks like they've put LaShawn Goldson up top with Mario. A little heavy touch from Chris and Maya.
Now, do most kids get to play 2 or 3 positions in the course of a game or a year, or do they get locked into one position?
All depends on the coach and the personnel, really. It's nice to have kids who can play different positions, and some kids are just totally more comfortable staying in one position. But as we found out with Haley Johnson this year, she slipped into centre back and is the most solid centre back we've got, and really brings a sense of confidence to the rest of the team. So these guys I think you'll see the midfielders holding in the centre. Maybe the outside backs were the ones that you might change quite often.
Here comes this corner. Watch the
yeah.
Oh, another save. He got the shot. But he had the shot he wanted. And when you're doing a header, sometimes you can't put it exactly where you want it. You just want to put it on net. And he got the head and he put it on net. The goalie made the save though.
He got LaShawn and he's got the height for that.
I don't think, did the refs call anything at all in the first half?
No. Just that one play that Rich disagreed with.
Yeah. Called it.
Right.
Yeah.
About not letting the play go, holding them up for a few seconds.
If you don't notice the officials are there, then they're doing a good job, right?
Right.
Got a few guys seem to be a little whistle happy at times.
Sometimes the official wants to make the game about themselves, and that is real lousy. When you get in a game like that, and the official wants to be more important than the kids, you're in for trouble.
You will start hearing it from Dick Herman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's interesting at this level, especially Massachusetts, they play pretty physical. With some referees, they're blowing up every minute, and other refs are letting it flow. We definitely like to let it flow. Looks like Nantucket switched out the goalkeeper for this half too. Got Jermaine Ferron in between the sticks. It's a nice advantage to have when you can bring in another goalkeeper who hopefully is as strong as your starter.
That's good because you get 2 kids into the game, right?
Good to have competition for places.
What number was he? Is he playing? Is he on the field now?
The goalkeeper? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Jermaine Ferron.
What number?
He's 20. He wasn't on the outfield to start with, though. He's just come off the bench, gone straight in the goal.
So number 20's in goal now, Jermaine.
Yes.
I missed. Who was the goal in the first goalie in the first
First
half?
goal is Vanius Valentikevikus.
Okay.
Wow. You got the names down, Phil. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Can you say that again, please?
Valentikevikus. I think I'm one of the only guys around here that can say it, but
Cool name.
yeah.
Is it two names? Valenti is the first name?
Well, Valentikevikus is all one word.
Oh, okay. That's his last name.
Yeah. Apparently, like in Lithuania, they have a female version of the name, which is Valentikevi, his mom.
Okay.
Oh.
His name, a little bit like they do in.
The Bulgarian.
Exactly, yeah. So it's the similar name, but a slightly different spelling and
Ivanov would be the
pronunciation.
man. Ivanova
Okay.
would be the female.
Too bad. Too bad he can't get his name in the back of the jersey though.
That's right.
He has a
Yeah.
disadvantage there.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough old word to say.
Henry, come on!
Yeah, Nantucket getting a little bit sleepy on that.
Yeah.
3 guys in, they got the ball, dribbles by them.
Rich Brannigan looking for a little more assertiveness out of his team. Mario, trickster at the other end.
Yeah, there's a first push off.
Yeah,
That's the first one of them they've called,
yeah,
right?
you'd say that was a good one too, you know, right into his
That was a
back.
hand, I think.
So watch the kick on this guy if he manages to go full whack effortlessly.
Yeah,
Hits the ball 3/4 length of the field without any run up.
yeah, he's got a strong leg.
There's LaShawn Goldson looking to break through, feed Mario. Another head from
Trying to set up the header again. A little bit low coming in that time. He couldn't get much on it. Portion of today's game brought to us by Fairgrounds Restaurant, where friends meet. Nantucket's family restaurant and sports bar. Check out the pages tomorrow night at the Fairgrounds.
Back, back! Back!
good piece of possession by Nantucket. As Mario is in, he only needs half a chance. There it is.
That was unstoppable.
Yeah, he knows how to put it away.
Well, Mario's got 2, and that was a big one. That sort of takes the pressure off the defense now.
Yeah,
And it could open the floodgates because Monomoy playing good 30-35 minutes down 1-0.
yeah.
Couldn't break through. Now it's 2-0.
Definitely looking for some options and creativity out of Monomoy to get himself back in the game, but don't really see any outlets for them. Too strong in the midfield. Chris Amaya looking to break. Some nice possession game there. The boys do possession almost every day in practice.
What's that? What's that? What would that
Yeah,
exercise be?
pretty much they're in a square like 15 by 15, and it's 4 against 4, and they use 2 neutral players. The 2 neutrals can help to keep possession of the ball for either team, and one team of 4 is trying to keep the ball and steal it from the other team of 4. So it's just a constant game of passing, basically.
Oh, okay.
You know, pass, keep possession, turn, open up.
Here's a save by the Whalers. Monomoy got a little push that time, but didn't get much of a shot off it. They had to make the save.
It's a nice little skill from LaShawn Goldson.
Ooh,
Take the shot from the edge of the box. Monomoy a little slow to react here.
And Nantucket pushing them back on their heels down
Yeah,
there.
they definitely do. They've got numbers back and they're not really managing to find a way out. So that's where Nantucket sets up in 3-5-2 formation. You got 3 backs here. The outside backs will get up and support the attack and basically become forwards then. So you're attacking with, possibly 7 players.
Chase.
See whether Nantucket can lock him in again.
Cooper Norris there, barking out directions to his team.
Oh, nice little save.
It's,
Good save by
yeah.
Cooper, yeah.
Nice distribution afterwards. Good slide tackle by Deshaun Burton. Number 18.
Well, if things keep going the way they're going for this team, they're just unstoppable, aren't they? This boys team?
Boys team has got a good roll going, yes.
Yeah.
Is there any team that's going to give us a hard time that's coming up?
Well, potentially the Vineyard were, 5-0 at the weekend at the same time as the boys were. And, the first
The
half
boys are
of
playing the Vineyard?
This Saturday,
so they just played the Vineyard away.
Yeah.
beat them
just
2-0
gone.
beat them 2-0
Beat
away.
them 2-0, and the Vineyard is their closest rival in this league right now, and it was getting feisty out there for about 20 minutes or so in the first half, and Nantucket, to their credit, managed to keep their cool. There were 2 yellow cards early on. The boys kept their cool and put the ball away twice in that 20-minute period, and that set up the game for Nantucket to take the points. So that was possibly going to be their toughest game.
But looking at this schedule there, the rest of the teams on their schedule are all teams that they can beat easily. So
Yeah,
the Vineyard game this Saturday is their toughest game on paper.
Exactly. So we'll see, and if Vineyard keeps the discipline, then they'll be able to match for longer. But I think the Vineyard lost their discipline at the weekend and didn't help them.
I always say when you have a rematch, and you're going to be feeling this too, when you have a rematch with any team, and especially a rival team, in a short period of time, like a week, the team that loses the first game, I think, goes into the game with a little bit more incentive, which gives them a little advantage
sure.
going into the game. So both your team and Rich's team, you're going to looking to get that first goal. You give Vineyard the first goal in either one of those games, and it's going to be difficult.
Plus, hypothetically, we kind of ruined their homecoming last week with those results, and they'll be wanting to do the same.
To do the same. That's what I'm saying. That's why they're going to have the incentive in their favor.
Yeah.
The good thing I think about beating the Vineyard last week for both the boys and the girls is that they were low-scoring games.
Right.
If one team had won 5-0, then it would be a hard week for the coaches to get them up to play them again.
Exactly.
In a short
Don't
period
want
of
to slip
time.
into that complacency or just getting out of the flow of playing a competitive game, and that's always the danger in this league for the boys.
There's looking at the games they've won so far, outscoring their opponents so far 37-1 in what, 6 games. That's a 6-0 average score,
So that's why they're always looking for that almost perfect game to make sure that they're keeping things tight. Then you get into playoffs and you start getting the more advanced opponents. You've got to really be on your game then. I think we haven't played any non-conference games yet, so they're always a tougher test.
Right.
The girls are playing Mashpee.
Mashpee would be a good.
Yeah, I think that's a nice rivalry.
Good.
Nice match right there.
When do the playoffs start? uphill for soccer?
Around November 1st.
Yeah, late October, November 1st.
Last game on the schedule right now is October 29th, so the 30th. So you got to have your games all played by the 30th. We're finding out who you play in the playoffs probably as early as November 1st, November 2nd. Halloween.
Looks like, goalkeeper with a tough play. The guy's, he's had a good game so far, but a little lapse of concentration. And took it, capitalise on that one.
Mario.
Who got that goal? I didn't see who they credited to.
I think Chris Amaya put that one in the back.
Chris Amaya? So Chris has one, Mario has two.
Yep. Oh, LaShawn Goldson got that one.
With John Golson going.
That,
I just saw it rolling in. I didn't see where it came from.
yeah, it was a
So
bit
not
of
Chris, but
a mistake
LaShawn.
from the goalkeeper, and it flipped up to LaShawn. Managed to pounce on it, which was, you know, he'd been moved in from the outside to support Mario. Now they've switched him out and put Jordan Beckford up top.
That is about
Sean Burton going down the outside, looking to combine and create some chances.
now it's an all uphill battle for Monomoy. I don't think Monomoy has the
Yeah, and I think it's
the strength to score 3 goals to get back in this game. So
I'm not seeing anything going forward. Number 24 for Monomoy looks like pretty young.
they have a few good players, yeah.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of seniors too. So this has to be the year to do something.
You just never know what they've got coming up in games as well, and they might, you know, keep out the bigger players and hope to win the games that they're meant to win. It's a great effort.
Oh, what a shot that was!
Fantastic goal by Douglas Castro.
Was that a bended like?
Yeah.
That was a bender.
That was bent like Beckham.
That was
that one.
that had no chance of being stopped by the goalkeeper. Just a perfect placement.
Perfect technique.
placement.
One of those dream goals.
Doing that every single shot. Rich, is that my new boy?
That's what we call in England a worldie. World
Who scored
class.
that, number 37? Who was it?
Douglas Castro.
Is that 37?
Yeah.
37, yeah.
Mr. Fernandez part.
Okay.
How come they don't have his whole name on the program then?
Really don't know. It's a abbreviated roster version for Cooper Norris, carrying her up nicely and then organising. I think we didn't see much of Cooper in the first half at the back, and he's brought a bit of bit of leadership.
Yeah,
to the back now.
he looks like a good leader. Well,
Yeah.
when you switch the field, see he's over here in front of us now. First half, he's over there.
Yeah, and he's really vocal.
Yeah.
Definitely letting them know what he wants. I think it's helped.
So we have a timeout on the field with approximately, I would say about approximately halfway through this period. Monomoy coach is going to talk to his team. They're trailing 4-0. They really got themselves in a hole. I'd like to mention some of our 5 sponsors who are bringing you this game. Billy Built Automotive, servicing all your automotive needs. Bill Trot owner. Check them out on that at BillyBuiltAuto@yahoo.com. Sun Island Fuel, heating, fuel, diesel fuel, automatic fuel deliveries, 5 Sun Island Road. Nantucket Carving in Folk Art, 167 Orange Street. Watch out for the ducks. Nantucket Carving in Folk Art. Island Pharmacy, Nantucket Pharmacy. We got you covered in town and out of town. In town, 45 Main Street. Out of town, 122 Pleasant Street. Both pharmacies offer you prescriptions, beauty products, Nantucket Island pharmacies. Island Lumber, we cover the island. Lumber, millwork, masonry, insulation. For over 50 years, Island Lumber, a proud sponsor of Wheeler Sports. Keeper's Restaurant, 5 Amelia Drive. Call now, 228-0009. So the Monomoy coach there, Phil, calls a timeout. What's he tell his team? Down 4-0 against a powerhouse?
I'm looking at, I think they're using it as practice now, keeping some of the younger guys out there looking to raise the level of their game. You know, and how, I think looking at their standings, they do have a chance of making tournament play.
Right.
So, you know, you'd be using this as a way to elevate your game.
Now, Nantucket doesn't have a big bench, but I mean, they look like they got a few new kids in here. As I see some of the starters over there putting jerseys on, meaning.
Yeah, they've taken out Mario, who's, you know, always going to be a threat. But they've still got some pretty established players left in. Douglas on 37, who just scored that phenomenal goal. See, he didn't play school soccer last year, so he's a new guy this year.
It's amazing that a kid can take a year off of a sport and can then come back and be competitive and
so what you find is with sometimes, especially with the Hispanic kids, they might not have known to sign up or be communicating to get signed up, but they've played at home. They've played with a ball at their feet ever since they were young. You know, they're always kicking the ball. So once they get into how to play with a team, they're usually pretty technically gifted enough to play.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right into that aspect because you know you got to get forms signed, you got to get physicals taken, and you just can't.
You know, the school does help with scholarships for people, but they don't always know that. And, you know, often the Hispanic kids are advocating for themselves.
Right.
You know, or the parent can't communicate for them. So, you know, it's definitely an added challenge.
There was a good story in the news this week. A football player out, a high school out in Los Angeles. He was a running back. They showed some clips of him. He was a pretty good player, so maybe the town got behind him. But he became homeless and just sleeping with friends a couple nights a week, sleeping here, there. So when the principal found out he didn't have a permanent address, he took him off the team for whatever the reason. It must have been a rule. So the whole team in the town responded, and they got a fund going. They raised money, and got him back on the team. It was a nice story, but the
principal will be doing it for the legal and liability purposes, right?
It's probably a rule, you know.
Yeah.
You gotta live in the city to play for the team. Nantucket doesn't face that so much because we're an island, so everybody here lives on Nantucket pretty much.
Yeah. Well, it's often why homeless people have trouble getting jobs when they don't have an address.
Don't have an address, right?
It's a great turn by Deshaun in order to keep possession. Deshaun Burton, another senior, unfortunately didn't keep the possession. It's tough when that breaks down. You do the hard work. You want to keep the ball.
So how much time have we got, do you think?
I got approximately 15, 18 minutes. We'll get, Phil might have a better time than me.
I'm same.
I'm just eyeballing it.
Yeah.
They had a timeout. I had them getting over about 35 on my watch. We'll push it to about 38 after the timeout.
Yeah, they scored a few quick goals after that second half break. We wondered how it was going to go. It was only one going in.
Yeah, it was one. Yeah, it was one at halftime, and I, you know, it was to Monomoy's defense. They played Nantucket tough. They kept it at halftime, 1-0. But I think the shift in this field, you don't notice it as much. But going that way, you seem to be going downhill. You have the wind in your favor.
Yeah,
and they got the breaks on those 2 quick goals where in the first half they hit the post twice. They could have had 2 or 3 goals in the first half if they weren't hitting the pipe.
Still I just don't see much outlets for Monomoy building out of the back and bringing it up the field. They don't really seem to be connecting, getting it into the attacking third.
I think that's number 3 or 4.
Yeah, good save there. He's very sure of himself in net. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a confident character. Looking for some possession on the floor here as the shouts. You know, it's definitely a good tactic to play. You know, when the ball's in the air, it's bouncing everywhere. It's a 50-50.
Follow the bouncing ball.
Yeah. And Nantucket looking to bring it down and play is what they want, but Monomoy knocking it around nicely here. But again, can they build out? Can they build out into the next phase of the field? Some nice to watch though. Put the next piece of the jigsaw together. You gotta get past Cooper. It's a nice ball. Jeffrey Dormy with the clearance.
Look at that.
Deshawn, a well-timed tackle. You want those tackles timed correctly or else you're in trouble. They're on the quick breakaway now. Jordan Beckford, strong like an ox. Can he make it count? Yeah. Derek Partida, tripping over his own feet. Managed to recover. Oh dear, that's a tough one to score, but
That sure is.
Tough way to. So we have to give that to.
Give it to number 12.
yeah, but great work from Derek to set it up and get it into the box. Derek Partida.
Well, Derek gets credit for the goal knocked in by a Monomoy defender.
It's a tough one. Puts that scoreline out of reach for sure.
5-0.
Yeah, this is turned into a real flat game after a pretty good first half. Real flat now.
Yeah. The
Tough
coach.
for Monomoy to sustain that kind of intensity.
Oh, as Phil said, they seem to move the ball well in this area of the field. You can't score from this area of the field.
Yeah, that's right.
They get down 20 yards, 30 yards from the goal, that they break down.
See, what Nantucket will do is they pack out the defence and all you can see is blue and they don't seem to have anywhere to go. They're well organised today actually, Nantucket, with the defence.
Christopher.
Have you met the JV coach for the boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Mehler. He's an old D1 college coach.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
some great experience coming from him.
Yeah, every once in a while when we do a game, the JVs won't be playing and he'll be on the bench here. Yeah, nice save there. You can tell he has a lot of knowledge of the game. Yeah.
He's coached at American University in Washington and won many championships there.
Really?
Yeah.
What's he doing on the island? Do you know how he got to the
Well,
island?
he's actually like 69 years old now. He's retired. He's a
Retired.
retired professor from American University and a coach, obviously.
Oh, what they call it, offside.
Looks like
Offside.
an offside, but definitely found a gap.
Yeah, I don't know if Nantucket gave up on that because they knew it was offside or not, but the goal did go in, but the whistle blew well before
Yeah.
the shot.
This entire season so far, only one goal.
Only one goal has been scored on Nantucket, yeah.
That's right. So
Keep that going.
it's a great habit to get into for when you get into the playoffs, you know.
And that last goal was the Nantucket's 42nd of the year, so they're outscoring their opponents 42-1.
And, you know,
No turn, come on!
so I think this is where, you know, you're looking at what's the game plan going to be for either coach. Well, you know, you get to a point where you're 5-0, but you don't really want to let things slip and start rotating too much, because then you lose your rhythm for the next game.
Right.
You want to be able to keep it high, keep the intensity up, and go into that Vineyard game with, you know, not being too relaxed, shall we say.
When I coach, I always would like to see the second tier players come in a few at a time and keep them on with the first tier players to see how they react, because that's the logical thing is, if you get an injury, you know, you don't bring 11 new guys in, you bring one new guy in to play with the other 10 out there. So how is he or she going to mesh?
Exactly.
There, oh, a save there by, I think it was, I couldn't see the number.
It always helps that younger player to have a senior player right next to them and talk them through the game. And you know, what we've found in the girls program especially is those kids are ready to step up. There's a lot of hunger out there.
Well, speaking of the JVs, here they come, so their game is over. So we'll see the JV coach here in a moment.
Nantucket looking to get a few second string in now, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're under 10 minutes, aren't we, Dick?
Probably just about 10 minutes.
Minutes left.
And the benches are going to be cleared here at the next whistle.
Get that clock fixed for the playoffs now.
We hope that circuit board is really coming in.
Yeah. It will be helpful.
It's been rumored. Well, it would be embarrassing to play a home playoff game here without it working. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
That's it should have been fixed by now.
Especially when it's a tight game and
Yeah.
you're looking, you know, looking at the clock every minute.
Yeah, it should have been fixed by now. It's a long time, whatever the problem is. I've been vocal about it a couple of times, so I've given up. But you can still see it's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah. It would help. Some nice possession play there. This is where you just look to hold the ball and move it around and create the next space and the next opening, and before you know it, you can be making strides up the field. That's what the possession games do. You know, you move the ball to move the opponent, shifting them side to side, and hopefully create some more gaps. But a few of the younger boys in now. Derek Partida with some strong defensive play. Now he can bring it up the outside again. Nice counter attack. Just needs to pick out somebody. That's what Cooper's asking him to do. Monomoy with the break. Oh.
Some nice moves there by Monomoy, but it's 1-on-4.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to get through 4 people, yeah.
Nice ball, he's found the space.
Oh.
Goalkeeper's quick out.
Yeah, number 19 for Monomoy has been trying to sneak in like that all day. Ben-Ami Carrill, he's a senior forward. Portion of this game brought to you by the Seagrow.
I've never seen a delay for a shoe side before.
Check out the Seagrow, where to go for great fish and excellent seafood, where the locals meet and call home. The Seagrow, 45 Sparks Ave.
Run in. Let's go. It's you, Danny, and Duncan.
A little switch up from Monomoy, maybe trying a different system now too.
Yeah, that's another thing you can take a look at. If you're looking at a new combination or a different combination.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna find, and looks like they've got a lot of players to choose from. So. They've gotten it into our box a couple of times. So you'd want to try and keep it. Looking for a bit more midfield support here.
Yeah, Rich wanted them to go right at it, not hang around.
Yeah, he was saying about keeping those standards high. It's, as you said, it's that you don't want to fall into any bad habits and think it's too easy. Always trying to find a goal in the game to accomplish. Vineyard will be ready for a big go this weekend.
All right, you got to put your three stars together, Phil.
That's right. Got to do a good job of this for Paula.
We're gonna give Paula a Tommy point right now because we know she's watching this. So you got a Tommy point, Paula, and Phil's gonna dedicate these three stars.
That's right.
Phil's gonna dedicate these 3 stars to you, Paula.
Well, 3 stars. He's not in the game right now, but
you ready to go? You want to go first?
I'm gonna, yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, call it Mario Reyes for at the start. Relentlessly taking his chances when they came to him, and it looks like we could have another couple.
Oh! A couple of posts, and the ball just didn't bounce in.
So the other boys are getting after it a little bit too. But yeah, Mario was made the difference, and when the score was tight, he managed to take his chances and didn't stop.
Okay, so that's one of them. What's your other 2?
My other star would go to Cooper Norris here, because I feel in that change in the second half, he really that vocal leadership has allowed Nantucket to play the game in the opponent's half a little bit more. I didn't see that in the first half. He's been pretty vocal and pretty aggressive with what he wants from them, which is great when Emmett Clark, the captain, was missing today. So.
Yeah, and that's 2, so you got 1 more.
Yeah, got Derek to talk to.
Well, you stole my thunder. You had 2 of mine there. My number 1 star goes to Mario. The 2 goals got Nantucket going. The only goal in the first half. My number 2 star again to Cooper Norris for the leadership and keeping an eye on everybody. You like a kid like that, a player like that in the game, knowing where everyone else is supposed to be at the same time that he or she is playing their position. And my number 3 star is going to go to Douglas Castro for the prettiest goal of the day game. So
I'd agree with that as well. You can't beat a goal like that. Pick that one out, as they say.
Portion of this game brought to us by Congdon & Coleman Insurance, specializing in personal and commercial lines of insurance, auto, home, marine business. Congdon & Coleman established 1931 down at 57 Main Street. So unofficially, I have us in about the last 2 minutes here, depending on how much stoppage time they add on.
Yeah, so a good solid performance from the Whalers.
Yeah, so they go to what?
Into the game
They go what, to 7? Is it 7-0 now?
7-0, yeah.
And their next game will be